When it comes to all-time great NBA players, one of the common through lines in all their careers is the pursuit of championships. For LeBron James, it's the pursuit of more all-star teammates. Doesn't matter if he has 0 All-Stars, 2 All-Stars, even 4 Hall of Famers. It is never enough, and it's always about more. And like we saw in Cleveland, Miami, and possibly now Los Angeles, if LeBron doesn't get his perceived help, he's out the door at the drop of a hat. And looking at the LeBron James era, outside of him, it's really only Kevin Durant who's had more teammate help and more stacked rosters. And you could pretty easily argue both these guys have had the most teammate help of any Hall of Fame player ever. Now, LeBron, taking a page from KD's playbook, allegedly might be headed to the Golden State Warriors. And in the future, we could see Curry, Clay, Dre, and Kuminga paired up with LeBron James. This yet again would be a team with multiple All-Stars, Hall of Famers, a Hall of Fame coach that LeBron James would be a part of. And if LeBron this summer declines his player option, goes to Golden State, in comparison to KD's move, even LeBron's own move to South Beach, it wouldn't be nearly as weak. But in terms of sliminess, lack of competitiveness, this move easily rank him on the top in that category. As joining Steph Curry, your rival for close to a decade, who's beaten you 3 times in the finals, the lack of competitive nature to do that would simply shock me. And yet again, LeBron James, at the very end of his career, latching onto a team for an elusive 5th championship. Seeing all these LeBron Golden State rumors, LeBron Knicks rumors, Clutch Sports behind the scenes is pulling numerous levers. And a guy like Rich Paul, who has absolutely no shame, I don't doubt in the slightest he wants LeBron in a big market, either Golden State or New York. And looking at the Golden State angle, the conflict of interest here is just astonishing. So first off, LeBron, Warriors, supposed rivals, but then you have Draymond, a client of Clutch Sports, which is owned by LeBron James, run by Rich Paul, LeBron's friend. The entanglement web right here, it just screams collusion of the highest level. And fans of basketball always wonder, where did those rivalries go from the 90s, 80s, and 2000s? Well, it's pretty simple. In the 2010s, every player either became friends with each other or teamed up on a super team. Of course, the origin of that was LeBron in 2011. And what preceded that was the '08 Olympics, where the idea for the Big Three Heat was kind of hatched and formed. And of course, 3 years later, it came to fruition. Now, maybe a coincidence, but this summer, what's around the corner? Yep, you guessed it, the 2024 Olympics that will feature LeBron James and Steph Curry. If you think for a second LeBron James wouldn't go to the Warriors and ride Steph's coattails, you haven't been paying attention to this guy's entire career. As when it comes to pursuit of championships, switching teams, he will do anything to get 6 championships. And unlike Michael Jordan, didn't have that true competitive nature to build up one team and one dynasty and sustain it. And using LeBron's own career as a guide, whenever there's smoke around him potentially leaving, there's always fire. 2010, all year long there was buzz. Will LeBron stay? Will he go? Is a constant conversation. Of course, he left. 2018, yet again in Cleveland, almost a foregone conclusion, he was leaving. And now in 2024, very similar buzz, a lot of noise, and smoke. LeBron at the very least has 1 foot out the door. And wherever he goes, I can guarantee you, there'll be numerous All-Stars, a decent coach, and be playing in a big market. And if I had to make a prediction right now, I would say 75% chance LeBron James isn't a Laker. The only way he's a Laker in 2025 is to get another All-Star like Mitchell or Trae Young. And looking at the Knicks, who are finally a really, really good team, solid top to bottom. If you add LeBron James to this roster, it's going to tank what they built the past 3 seasons. The Knicks right now being a 4th seed. Brunson, Randall, OG, great depth. If LeBron goes to the Knicks yet again, he'll be front-running in a big market, as those 2 guys, Brunson and Randall, did the major legwork to get New York out of the gutter. And looking at the NBA media, when it came to the Knicks rumors, especially the Golden State rumors, These guys were giddy, overjoyed, and rooting for these things to happen. I mean, I've never seen the media actively root for a player like they do for LeBron James. Doesn't matter if he goes to Golden State, New York, doesn't matter. They want LeBron James to succeed at all costs. And at this point, Clutch Sports is almost a mirror of ESPN. And any narrative they push, ESPN is happily going to peddle it on their network 24/7. And for someone like Rich Paul, who has no shame, I don't believe a word he says regarding his client LeBron James. And to stay on Rich Paul for 1 second, one guy, of course, he thinks is the greatest of all time is his client LeBron James. Now, here's the thing. If they think LeBron James actually was the greatest back in 2016, why are they scrambling so often every single year to get him more help in pursuit of a 5th championship? If you truly thought 2016 made you the GOAT, you would have just chilled in Cleveland and not gone to Los Angeles. But I'm telling you, these guys deep down, they don't even believe that narrative that they push through ESPN. All this smoke in a nutshell is one last-ditch effort to get LeBron James his 5th championship. And if he goes to one of these teams as a second option to his 4th franchise and somehow does win, I mean, it would be the story of LeBron's career. Numerous franchises recycling rosters, stacked teams, all-stars, and constantly leaving teams on bad terms. If you compare a guy who played on 4 different teams, won 5 championships, to guys like Jordan or Kobe, who won 5, 6 in one spot, that is infinitely more impressive than recycling rosters every 4 to 5 years and getting new teams constantly. I mean, how many players in NBA history could go city to city, all-star, all-star, and win championships? A lot of them could do it pretty easily. And looking at LeBron's own era, the quote-unquote player empowerment era, in some respects, it has benefited him, but in others, has actually hurt him in the long run. As looking at LeBron's era, in terms of championships, he's never really owned a decade or owned his own era. As countless players got championships, multiple guys doubled up on rings, and someone like Steph Curry got 4 on LeBron's watch. If LeBron goes to Golden State, I would lose immense respect for him and a tad bit for Steph Curry. Because being an NBA superstar, a competitor at the highest level, to join your rival in the team you built, the dynasty you built, that move just wouldn't sit right with me, and I would root against it all day long. LeBron going to Golden State, in essence, is Karl Malone going to Lakers in 2004. One last-ditch effort to get a championship and ride the coattails of a team that dominated his era. And once again, looking at the NBA media, the spin on LeBron James joining another super team, riding their coattails, it's already been spun to perfection. As what they're saying now is LeBron James, he's not going to pass MJ in rings, but in significance of titles. Think about how diluted and stupid that narrative is. Significance of titles. It's just some vague mishmash, not tangible standard they have LeBron James past Jordan. These guys are impressed by LeBron going to the Knicks with 2 All-Stars and winning a championship, or somehow going to Golden State with 3 Hall of Famers and winning there. To these people, that impresses them. To me, I'm repulsed by it. And looking at Michael Jordan, if he had a tad bit of LeBron's mindset, LeBron's mentality, back in 2002, forget the Wizards, they won 19 games. Why not go to the Spurs, where they won a championship in 99? I mean, Jordan San Antonio, you can't tell me this guy could have played the Malik Rose role, been the second, third option, and coasted to 7 championships. Fortunately, unfortunately, MJ didn't have LeBron's mindset as a frontrunner on a championship team. And the last thing I do want to touch on, looking back at Rich Paul, the Clutch Sports propaganda is just overwhelming. And when it comes to Rich Paul, his guy LeBron James calling him the GOAT. Remember, this dude's argument had nothing to do with basketball. Not championships, MVPs, iconic finals moments, none of that. Instead of Rich Paul, his whole argument was built on social media scrutiny. That tells me 2 things. 1, Rich Paul is kind of a doofus, and 2, he knows deep down LeBron James has nothing on Michael Jordan. When you have to use social media, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, as a crux of your argument for your player being the greatest of all time, that's a terrible argument. So, as always, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.